One of the more common questions I'm asked by my students is, where do ideas for websites come from? Do you just start up the computer and start doodling? And the answer is no. Actually, it starts up in my head. I start thinking about what it is I would like to accomplish, what features I would do, what the message is, things like that. And then once my thoughts sort of settle around a general theme, then it's time to break out the notepad. And what I will do is I will sketch out how I see it happening. And it may go through three or four or five, maybe seven iterations, who knows. But what it does is it sort of gets me to think about how the project works. Now, what does that look like? If you open up the sketch.jpg file located on your exercise folder, you'll see the initial sketch for the page that you were just looking at, fwuser.png. And you can see that I sort of said, okay, fine, I'm going to have a header, and I have a header up here, and I have a footer down here where I'm going to put some stuff, and I'd like to have, some ID up in here, 4 buttons. I'm thinking maybe a quote of some sort would go there. There'll be a line across here. There'll be an image here, and then there'll be 3 subject areas that will be dealt with. And this is sort of how I saw the structure of the home page. Now, you can do this on a piece of blank paper. You can do it on a notepad. You can do it on a sketch pad. And I know people that even do this sort of thing working with Post-it notes, and they just sort of stick them on the table and move them around and think about how they're going to do it. I prefer to use this method here, simply because I can scan it, and if I need to, I can always drop it into the document I'm working on to make sure that I'm sort of following along with what my original idea was, or I'm keeping the fidelity of the original idea. Now, there are all kinds of tools, as I said, and there's another one that's out there, which I think you might want to take a look at. I'm going to pop over to Firefox here, and it's called gridbooks.ca. And what this is a coil ring book that actually contains a series of grids or a series of pages with grids that you can actually draw on. And then if you need to, you can just tear it out of the book and scan it. And that's exactly what I did in that sketch I did earlier. So that's gridbooks.ca. It's a nice alternative. You might want to take a look at it. Okay, let's go back to fireworks. In this exercise, we looked at the creative process prior to opening up fireworks. And what you're going to be doing is creating a wireframe or a linear or a sketch of the product or the project. It really doesn't start with flaming up fireworks. I showed you a number of ways that you can do this, from using a notebook to using a commercial product called Gridbooks to even using Post-it notes on your desk or on a wall. Regardless of where you start, you need to start with an idea. And then once you get that idea refined, then bring it into fireworks. And from there, you can start to build your wireframe.